we promised you a great main event here tonight.
WrestleMania! WrestleMania is running west.
The world is watching.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of GWE Wrestling Talk. And today we're going to talk about WrestleMania. We are less than 4 weeks away from the showcase of the Immortals, WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. It's an exciting time. But there are some people who are not that excited, or who don't want to be excited, or finding ways not to be excited about WrestleMania, not to be excited about Raw or SmackDown. And I am here to challenge those people and say you should bloody well be excited about WrestleMania. And if you're not, then maybe this product isn't for you, because I've watched this product for over 30 years. This is as good as it gets. This is Netflix era, whatever you want to call it. This is the best. The build up to last year's WrestleMania, the build up to this year's WrestleMania is as good as we're going to get, and the in-betweens and the bit and what just happened. People have just forgotten 3 weeks ago at the Elimination Chamber, John Cena turned heel. John Cena turned heel after 25 years of hustle, loyalty, and respect. It's now hustle, loyalty, and regret. So, in my opinion, we've had a great SmackDown on top of a great Raw, and that opening half an hour of Raw was truly epic in Brussels. And I thought, but not everyone thought, that we followed up with a really, really good SmackDown. I really enjoyed SmackDown. I enjoyed the opening segment between Randy Orton and KO, which confirmed their match for WrestleMania. I enjoyed which a lot of people didn't, but I enjoyed the chat between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Strand, and people said it made Tiffany look not as good or whatever. Tiffany isn't as good as Charlotte Flair. That's fine. She is the rookie. Charlotte is the queen. This is the story that we're telling here. And people were moaning, oh, Charlotte Flair, oh, she can't be a babyface. Now she's a heel. She's a heel. Now people are moaning that she's a heel and she's acting like Charlotte Flair the heel. That is what she is. That's her character. She talks over. She doesn't let the other one get her word in. And I hope, quite frankly, she wins at WrestleMania, which will be hugely unpopular, but will be hilarious. And we got a brilliant segment. It was a great match between Liv and Jade, who are both lady wrestlers that get criticised sometimes about that. I mean, how Liv still gets criticised is ridiculous. So that's many times discussed on this channel. Jade obviously looks amazing physique, all of that sort of stuff. Looks like a superhero. Sometimes people aren't literally there in the ring. I thought this was a really, really good match between the two of them. And then the Naomi attack. Naomi with a tribute to Owen Hart, if you didn't notice that, with what she was wearing, and then just beat it down. Naomi, no more colour in her hair, just beating down on Jade. And I really hope that is a match at WrestleMania. So today we're going to talk about the matches at WrestleMania, what I think is going to main event WrestleMania, which matches on which side, and how are we going to fit everyone on this card, which has been something that I've talked about for the last few months, probably since around October time. I think as we were leading into WrestleMania season, there are so many over wrestlers at the moment, so many superstars, that I don't know if you can fit them all in, but you've got to fit in certain ones who aren't on the card yet. So let's start with what's on the card that we know. So as of today, 4 weeks till WrestleMania Sunday. So 4 weeks till WrestleMania Sunday. We know 6 official confirmed matches. A couple maybe we can guess. And then we've got some gaps to fill in. So let's talk about last year. Last year, I believe there was 13 matches. I think there was 7 on one night and 6 on the other. And the maximum is 14. But it's not going to be more than 14 matches this year. It's a 4-hour show each night. And it's 7 matches maximum. If not, it's 30. It's either 14 or 13 matches. So we'll just say, give ourselves 13 or 14 matches and see who's not going to make the card, who's going to get in, and if we look at that. So we know more than likely the main event for night 2 at WrestleMania is Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against John Cena. In a match we thought we'd probably never see, but definitely not with John Cena as heel. There is likelihood that The Rock is going to be in John Cena's corner. That has not been confirmed. He's not appeared since Elimination Chamber. But I will be shocked if he's not in Vegas. Shocked to my core. And probably Travis Scott too. So Cody's probably going to need a little bit of help. in that match. So that I suspect this would be my night one main event. It's not going to be night one. It's going to be the night two main event. It's the main event, and then I think, as has been confirmed on SmackDown this week, as what looked like. And people are moaning about this end segment. Why are you moaning? What are you moaning about? What's happened here? You've got three of the absolute biggest stars in the history of wrestling: Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns having a chat, having a brawl, setting up their three-way triple threat match. Which, and please in the comments tell me if there are others. But to me, this is in the debate, if not is the biggest triple threat match in the history of wrestling. Tell me a bigger triple threat match. And you can say ones with titles on the line, but this is what makes it bigger. This is bigger. You've got the favor still to factor in. You've got Paul Heyman's allegiances to factor in. So I think this will be the main event for Roman Reigns is not main event WrestleMania. This should be the main event for WrestleMania. In my opinion, night two, but it'll be night one. So I think we've got our main event set. It's Cody versus Cena on night two, Roman Punk Rollins triple threat night one. Then you've got Jey versus Gunther, which has attracted a lot of criticism. Apparently, there's not enough momentum in this. What momentum do you want? Jey Uso is a humongous underdog. It was not one poor person saw Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. Jey Uso wants to challenge Gunther, who he has lost to twice. Once for the Intercontinental Title Championship, once for the World Heavyweight Championship. Recently, it's at the main event. I think this is going to be huge. The Jey is over like anything right now. So that is that. Gunther is an outstanding wrestler and character. His character work over the last year has been developed brilliantly. I think this is going to be great. People saying, oh, all they're doing is beating each other up each week. That's generally what happens in a build up. There'll probably be some more chat on the microphone. There'll be some build up. A lot of people think Jey is going to get his moment. Maybe, but maybe not. Maybe the ring general wins. Maybe there is no Yeet party in Vegas. Because at one point, this could have ended night one on Saturday. But once you start putting Roman Reigns and CM Punk and Seth Rollins in the same match, that's gonna end night one, right? And you've still got the two women's titles matches, which we're going to talk about. So you got Jey versus Gunther. I think that will be on night the opposite night to Cody Cena. So that's probably a night one. Maybe it opens WrestleMania. Maybe we open WrestleMania with Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, or maybe it opens night two. I think that's what happens there. And if it opens, there's even more chance that Jey doesn't win. Although it's a slim chance, I get it. People think Jey will win, but we'll see. Then you've got Charlotte versus Tiffy time. People didn't like the segment this week. People didn't like the brawl last week, or I liked the brawl. Maybe people liked the brawl, didn't like the chatting. So I thought it was great. This is going to be an epic match. Potential to be from a pure wrestling point of view, I think potential to be the match of the weekend. No doubt. So this again goes on to a thing. So we're now on match. We're on 4 matches. I'm just looking at my notes. So we're on 4 matches. 5th match, Bianca, Io. I think it's almost certain Rhea Ripley gets in, and it's a triple threat. It's a second triple threat, and this is important for when we discuss later about some of the other matches that could happen. How many multi-man, multi-woman matches do you have? So you have a triple threat already, Roman, Punk, and Rollins, and it's almost certain you're going to get Bianca, Io, and you're going to add Rhea into that in triple threat. Again, potential to be an absolute banger. I'll be honest, and I've said it before, I was looking forward to Bianca versus Rhea because I thought that's the direction they were going, because we've not had that, or we've not had that since NXT, and I never watched NXT, so I don't know. But that could have been great. But Io's a phenomenal performer, and it adds that to the match. I think it could be a great triple threat. That takes you to 5 matches, and the last match that has been officially announced again after Friday, Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. We're going to see a punt kick, I think. So that's 6 matches. 6 matches, almost half the card. If we're saying 13, maybe 14. So just there. The other match that almost looks, I would put good money on it if I had good money, is Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, which again, great build up in last. Drew McIntyre, as I said, was probably alongside Liv Morgan the wrestlers of the year last year. People are saying, "Oh, he should be higher up the card. He should be." Where do you fit Roman Reigns? Where do you fit Drew McIntyre in? Does he take Cena's place against Cody? No. Could he have won the Royal Rumble and faced Gunther? Maybe, but we've seen Gunther and McIntyre before. In fact, we saw it 2 years ago at WrestleMania with Sheamus. So I don't, and then there's also two heels, so that doesn't make sense, and that doesn't work. Doesn't work for me, brother. Um, so where do you fit in then? Does he fit in the Roman Punk Rollins match? No, that is an epic triple threat that has storylines from the Shield to now, and various in betweens and Heymans and such like. So for me, Drew will make. Damian Priest was World Heavyweight Champion for 4 months last year. Damian Priest cashed in on Drew McIntyre in front of my very eyes in Philly. This is a years coming full circle now in terms of thing. Yep, we've seen the match before. We saw it at Money in the no, we saw it at Clash at Clash at the Castle. Obviously, CM Punk came in as ref at the end of that, or wasn't ref. And it was a good match. It was good. I don't see the problem here. Drew McIntyre, um, Damien Priest. That takes us to 7. So that's pretty much. Obviously, it won't be in one day, but that's pretty much a day. And then maybe you've got 6 more matches, maybe 7 matches that you've got. Now it looks solid that it will be Naomi versus Jade, and this will actually be the first non-titles women's match at WrestleMania. That's mad. That's mad. World's first single solo one-on-one match. They had obviously last year had Damage Control against the Big Three, and I think the year before that they had a tag match, Becky, Trish, and Lita against Damage Control. So you've had non-title women matches, but you've not had a non-titles one-on-one women's matches in the history of WrestleMania, which is madness. This is absolutely the story to do it. I think it's been brilliant between the two of them, and I really hope they get their WrestleMania match. That takes us now to 8, 7, 8. So now we're looking at maximum 6 more matches, maybe just 5 more matches. Right. I think Liv Morgan has to be on the card, and we're incredibly biased towards Liv Morgan on this channel. But as I've just said about Drew, she was the best women's wrestler of the year last year. Drew was the best male wrestler of the year in terms of having the year that they had and the ascendancy and the next levels that they went to. So that's important to say, the next levels that they went to. As Drew had a phenomenal year, amazing feud with CM Punk, did great work with Priest, with Seth Rollins, but he upped a level. So when we say the best year, stellar year, standout year, MVP, but they weren't the MVP. That's important to say. MVP was still Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns, or that's the level that we're talking about. But I think Liv, to that point, has to be on it. She's the current tag team champions of Raquel Rodriguez. There was a point where I saw Liv and Alexa Bliss, and they had a couple of interactions, Royal Rumble and definitely at Elimination Chamber. And I thought maybe Alexa Bliss will reunite with her old tag team partner, who's in the Wyatt Six, which is Nikki Cross, and they've got some storyline there. And I would have actually really enjoyed that match, Liv and Raquel against those two. Alexa Bliss hasn't been on TV since Elimination Chamber. There's still 4 weeks to go, so something could happen. So where do I think we'll go? Do I think maybe a multi-women? And again, this is important because we've got the men's tag, the men's tag times 2, the US title for the men's and the Intercontinental, all could be multi-matches, and they can't all be multi-matches because it ruins the spectacle. And I appreciate getting people on the card, and that's what we're talking about as well here. But that you can't have that many multi-matches. So you could have a women's tag team match against 3 other teams, and then you get 8 women on the card. You could have Chelsea and Piper maybe, because I don't see the US women's title being defended there. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see it. That is a team. And you could, they always throw, I mean, this is back to Vince's days, but they always would just throw in men's and women's, mainly women's, just these 2 women together and say that they're a team just for the sake of having a team for WrestleMania or an event. So that could happen there. That could be the women's tag match. And then you've got the Intercontinental title. Let's take the Intercontinental title first. So sorry, that takes you to 9 then. So the Intercontinental title, you've got the current champion, Braun Baker, amazing stare down with Penta. Everyone wants to see this match. And now, obviously, this could be, again, you add in the people like Kaiser, you add in people like Sheamus, you could add in Chad Gable even. Maybe that doesn't fit, but there's a way of getting more people into this match. However, I think everyone would like to see this match. And I'm going to say this match should stick to this match, and it should be Braun Breaker versus Penta for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. This is like a great second or third match that will get the crowd up, It will be a great match. It will be a great second, third match on night 1 or night 2 of WrestleMania. So I'm going to say that is 10. Then you go to the US title. This is where I think we may start getting multi men in it. LA Knight is the champion. He defends against Braun Strowman at the O2 in London, which we'll be going to and recording video for on SmackDown on Friday. I don't see Braun Strowman winning this, but I do see other people in the picture, like Shinsuke Nakamura, like Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, who could all theoretically be competing for that title. And then this leads to Jacob versus Solo, because I thought this would have been, they were hinting at it a few weeks ago. I think this may go on longer. And maybe the split, the breakup, whatever you want to call it, happens at WrestleMania, maybe during a multi-match. Maybe Solo and Jacob beat the living out of each other during a multi-match at WrestleMania. Maybe it's things and it cost each other the title. One of them cost the other one, or something like that. Or we could get Jacob versus Solo, but then that takes you to, we're on 11 with the US title. So does Jacob versus Solo somehow in that US title multi-man match? Let's see what happens. Let the story play out. And that is 11 matches. You've then, for matches 12 and 13, got the two men's tag team titles. Now, Street Profits have just won it. They're defending it as Pretty Deadly, and Pretty Deadly's home, close enough to their hometown in London, on SmackDown on Friday. I'd love to see them win, even though I do like the Street Profits. Happy they won. I'd like to see Pretty Deadly win, who've never been tag team champions. I think a huge pop that would be in London. And then, and in fairness, in SmackDown, they've built the tag team picture pretty well. As you know, not big fans of DIY on this channel. However, you've got DIY, you've got Motor City Machine Guns, you've Los Gargos, whatever they're called. So you could have some kind of, you could even, I mean, if you add a ladder to it, it makes it a bit more interesting, I think, this multi-tag team match. So that's match 12. And then you've got the blooming Raw tag team titles, which is the War Raiders. Have they still got it? But in that way, you could get, because then, so yeah. I mean, that could again be a multi-match. What they could do. I mean, I liked what they did last year, but that's when they were splitting the belts, and you had the four belts up there, the two title tag team belts, and two teams won it. I thought that worked well. A Town Down Under one, and then Archery from the Miz. So potentially that's 13 matches, maybe 14 if you do Jacob versus Solo. So that's the card. So who's not on the card at the moment, or clearly on the card? Well, officially, the people we've just talked about, like Jade, no, sorry, not Jade. Well, Jade and Naomi aren't, but Liv, Jacob Solo, they've got to be at WrestleMania. They've got to be competing at WrestleMania. Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio. See, Dominic Mysterio, then could he be part of that Intercontinental title? I missed him out as a potential. But you're missing out big people, and this is what I've been saying. You were always going with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has not been seen since he nearly died at the hands of Kevin Owens. And I'm not sure, I think Kevin Owens interferes in the Randy Orton KO match or something like that. Because, well, you can't just randomly put Sami Zayn in the US title picture or the Intercontinental title picture. And then what else does he have? You can't make it a triple threat between him and Randy and KO, and it doesn't make sense. I think you use the injury to keep him off, not off TV, but he can be part of it. But he's injured and he's not cleared to wrestle, because he wasn't cleared to wrestle technically in Elimination Chamber because of his neck, and he's definitely not now. So you keep that, and then you keep him rather than trying to shove him in. So at the moment you talk about Sami Zayn, Finn Balor. He was in the tag team match, wasn't he, last year? But he didn't have a big role in WrestleMania. Hell in a Cell against Edge the year before. Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio. I don't like a world where Dominic's not involved in it. I want Dominic involved. We're talking about those people who, Ludwig Kaiser, definitely rising star, who will have it. I think he'll have a big year this year, Ludwig Kaiser. So can you get him on there again? Is that multi-man aspect? So here we go. So we are now nearly 20 minutes into this video, and you can see the problems, the good problems that we have, Triple H has, the team at WWE have, to try and get everyone on the card without overloading on the multi-man, multi-woman aspect of it. Bayley. I haven't even mentioned Bayley, one of the GOATs of women's wrestling. Doesn't have a clear direction with 4 weeks to go. Could she get a tag team partner and compete? It doesn't look like Becky Lynch is going to come back before. I suspect, my gut tells me Becky Lynch will return more after WrestleMania, because that's when people return, and I don't know how. I mean, I was up for Liv Morgan's mentioned her a lot. Becky could come back. She said she retired her. I think there's a match in there. I don't know if that happens, but or could Becky Lynch get a tag team partner and they could go for the tag team titles? But then would you squeeze in Becky Lynch's return in the next 4 weeks? I mean, star power, yeah. She's huge. She's as big a woman star as there is. So there's that. But I think do they need to? No. Which means that I think she returns on the Raw after WrestleMania, and maybe feuds with one of the new champions or the champion, whoever that is. So I don't know. So I think we need to get some of these wrestlers into this card without overdoing the multi thing and making them interesting matches that people are going to want to watch and not go to the toilet or have a snack break during. Even though you need, as I've said on this channel many times, you need, when you go to these events and they're 4 hours, you need a match to be a match that you are not fussed about missing a bit of, because you do need to use a loo and you do need to get some snacks or drinks. So we shall see. So that's where we are. I think we've got 13, 14 ideas match. We've got 6 confirmed. Maybe we've got another 2 almost confirmed. That's 8. And then the remaining 4 to 6 matches, there's some work that needs to be done on TV. There's some things, but then back to my point right at the beginning, enjoy the ride. Enjoy what the next few weeks brings. Let you go with it. If Jay versus Gunther's not doing it for you, yeah, let it do it for you, and and do that, and that's fine. It's not the main event of WrestleMania. It's not the proper main event of WrestleMania. It's not proper either of the main events of WrestleMania. And even if it is, and you're still not doing it for you, that's fine. You can let it think. It peaks at different times. The challenge that they've always got now, especially with 2 at WrestleMania, is you've got to get it to peak at the right time. Being super excited for Jay versus Gunther now and then being bored of it in 4 weeks' time is not going to be great. There are some matches just from the star power, like I think the 2 main events, Cody Cena, Rollins, Punk, Roman, that will be fine. They can appear. I mean, Seth Rollins will appear every week. Cody will appear every week. CM Punk probably will appear every week, but the rest of them may not. Well, Cena and Roman may not appear every week, and that's fine. It keeps it fresh. That's okay. It's electric when they watch. It's the highest viewings when they watch. It's the crowd are the most invested when those people are in the ring and on the mic or fighting, whatever it may be. And we've got appearances. So Cody and Cena are appearing on Raw this week in Glasgow. Roman and Punk are both appearing in SmackDown, and I suspect Seth Rollins are on SmackDown on Friday in London. Then the following Monday, it's confirmed. I think Punk's and Cody and Cena are all on Raw. So you've got your big elite names over the next couple of weeks. And then you've got a couple of weeks. And then I think there's a Raw or SmackDown in Chicago, which will be massive because CM Punk obviously is massive, All State Arena. And then you've got the factors of Rollins and the factors of Roman Reigns in there as well. And we know what happened on the SmackDown, or sorry, on the Raw in Chicago last year. The unexpected appearance of The Rock, then said nothing. The crowd got angry. And then look what happened at the end of that episode. Probably the best ever ending to an episode of Raw. Look at you now, boy. So we've got that. And we've got The Rock. I mean, we haven't got The Rock because we don't know if The Rock's going to appear. But are we not going to see The Rock until WrestleMania? I would be surprised if he doesn't make an appearance on a Raw or a SmackDown between now and WrestleMania. And maybe he's not. I mean, he's appeared more than there was all the chat that Rock wasn't even going to do WrestleMania. So he's appeared a lot more than people thought he was going to appear. He's been involved in the biggest angle in 25 years of wrestling, or maybe more, maybe ever, maybe since Hogan turned heel, in terms of biggest heel turn anyway. I think we're good to go. People aren't that excited yet. That's fine. People may not get that excited. But what I would say is look at the build up to WrestleMania 37. I mean, that was a COVID facing. But look at the build up to WrestleMania 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. 36 was COVID. None of them were even close to this one. And this one's probably not close to the last one. But the last one was The Rock was wrestling for the first time in 10 years. The Rock and Roman Reigns were supposed to have a match. The Cody movement, the crybabies, everything. That was a once in a generation, once in a lifetime build at WrestleMania. And if you're not as excited as that, that's fine. You've got John Cena's last WrestleMania. You've got a heel John Cena going to break the record in wrestling of 17 titles, to get 17 titles, to break Ric Flair's record and his own record. but as a heel in the main event of WrestleMania. You don't have to be excited, but I'm excited. My excitement is staggering. I'm enjoying Raw. I'm enjoying SmackDown. I'm looking forward to Glasgow Raw. I'm enjoying the fact that I actually can watch these on the evenings, like you, any of our American viewers all around the world who get to watch these live. I'm enjoying being able to watch Raw and SmackDown live. I'm enjoying that I'm going to SmackDown and Raw in the O2 in London in a week's time. So anyway, what do you think? Have I missed out? I bet I've missed out some big names. Logan Paul and AJ Styles. Didn't write this down. Logan Paul came into my head. I don't know why. So there we go. That's now 15 matches. So who's not on these cards? What the Raw Tag Team titles? Get scrap it. Just get rid of it. I don't care about the Raw Tag Team titles. Take them off. Don't think. Logan versus AJ Styles is clearly going to be a match. That's almost as nailed on as Priest and McIntyre, surely. And that'll be a great match. Logan Paul versus AJ Styles is going to be an absolute banger of a wrestling match. That takes 15. I don't think you do 8 on one. So something has to go, and it's probably the men's Raw tag. It's not going to call the Raw tag team, World Tag Team Champions, whatever, which one it is. It's not a memorable belt. It's not a memorable tag team division on Raw. So I don't think they get on. So maybe they defend on Raw, the thing. Maybe they'll get a match on SmackDown, even though it doesn't make sense because they normally defended on Raw. But I think you get that. And then, we even talk about Lara Valkyria, women's Intercontinental Champion. She's defending next week. I don't think that women's Intercontinental makes the thing. Obviously, Chelsea Green is doing brilliantly. I just don't see the storyline of getting the women's US title at the moment, unless Piper Niven turns on her, something like that. But even that, I don't see that being a WrestleMania match. When it's this stat, we're going to force forward a year. In a couple of years' time, WrestleMania is not going to be this good. And then people are going to be like, oh yeah, remember how good? Or maybe we shouldn't have moaned so much about the build to WrestleMania 41. This is the thing. I said last year was once in a lifetime build, once in a lifetime event. It was the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania. It was the most insane last 15 minutes of WrestleMania of wrestling that you'll ever see, ever. And even if you did something like that again, it would never be the same because this is the Avengers Endgame moment of wrestling that happened there, wasn't it? With everyone coming in and the build to it and the Rock wrestling and everything. And that's fine. And that was a peak in terms of wrestling fandom. However, in terms of actual viewers and who's watching and who's paying for these tickets, it's peaking. It's Netflix is peaking. So there is us wrestling geeks who will analyze and look at this and spend nearly half an hour talking about it and then commenting about it and messaging on WhatsApp about it and all of this. And then there are people who are watching and enjoying it who are like, oh yeah, no, that looks like a good match. I'll watch that. Oh, wait a minute. If I'm not in the US, it's on Netflix and I've got Netflix already, I'm going to watch it. So there's a bigger picture there. There's kids are involved. Talia is taken by a different variation of storylines that I am taken by. And a lot of them the same. But she absolutely loved. She wanted to watch Charlotte and Tiffy chatting to each other, shouting over each other twice, 3 times maybe. That's the WWE are targeting all different audiences. This is a huge and it's even more prominent now with Netflix, with social media and everything. I mean, and also, one of the moments of WrestleMania surely is going to be Cody getting his back on Travis Scott. That's got to happen. There's a lot to happen. But we'll do a preview of WrestleMania as it is. We'll do some video from SmackDown next week and some video from Raw the week after. But have a good week. Enjoy it. And please comment and I'll reply as always. What are your thoughts on what I've said? What are your thoughts on what's going to happen? What have I missed out? Probably another Logan Paul and AJ Styles situation. Right. Have a good week. Enjoy the ride.